What's going on, guys? Big up to HECZ here. I would like to start off this commentary by addressing or answering the question that I chose from the last commentary, which is by Jin Sengumi, who says that, honestly, I take your job any day if that allows you to afford the lifestyle, house you have. Morning duties, play, waiting for games, sponsor calls, play. That definitely beats the office work. I mean, how hectic can that be compared to a regular office job? Well, thank you for asking that question, Jin Sumi. I'll start the gameplay now and try to answer your question as clear and concise as possible. It's going to be a little bit hard because it's kind of a loaded questions, and there's a lot of things that I want to touch on, and I'm going to try to get through them as fast as possible. Obviously, you know, doing what I do is way better than working at a bank. I mean, that's what I did before this. I worked at a bank and then a mortgage company and then an insurance company. I have to, obviously it is better. Every day I wake up and I'm like extremely thankful and I'm happy, and there's you know, sometimes the stress of it all gets to me and I get a little bit upset and I'll touch on that a little bit, but you know, unrelated to this, and I think that this is going to go very well with this commentary. There's a verse in one of Aesop Rock's songs called the 9 to 5ers Anthem. That's the name of the song, and I'll post a link in the description so you can hear it. There's a verse in there, a chorus actually, that says, "We the American working population hate the fact that 8 hours a day are spent chasing the dream of someone that isn't ours. Now, we may not hate our jobs, but we hate jobs in general that don't have to do with fighting our own causes." And then it goes on to another awesome follow-up to that verse. But anyway, the reason I say that is because it spoke so loudly to me at one point or another in my life. You know, when I was just beginning to work at a bank and trying to make make a decent living and you know, be more than just, you know, middle class person. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. It's what you choose to be in life is completely up to you. If you're happy with it, fuck everybody else, do what you like, and blah blah blah. So to start with your questions, yes, absolutely. Anybody would rather do what I do, or what many of us do in the YouTube gaming community do, than to work in an office job. I mean, I wore a suit and a tie for over 10 years every day of my life, and I liked it. I like wearing it, but at the same time, I hated waking up in the morning. I hated going to work. So now I'm so happy to wake up and obviously, you know, do my fatherly duties that every parent does. You know, get your kid ready to go to school, go to your, you know, babysitter, and thankfully and lucky enough, my girlfriend's mom lives literally 5 minutes away. So it doesn't take long for me to get there and see my daughter, you know, midday if I'm out getting lunch or something. But you know, and you know what, to me it's, and maybe this is the way that I was brought up, but you know, having your grandparents you know, in your life, as part of your life, is so invaluable that I am like all for it. And it's not just me saying here, take care of my daughter. It's, you know, I want my daughter to grow up with a perspective on how things were, you know, over 60 to 70 years, and you know, it's going to be 80 to 90 by the 90 years by the time she's, you know, old enough to understand what's been going on. I grew up with my grandparents. Both my parents had to work because, you know, I'm from Juarez, Mexico. If you guys don't know, it's pretty shitty. And I'll tell you about my childhood some other time. But it wasn't that easy. All right. It wasn't an easy upbringing because of where I grew up and whatever. But I value the fact that my grandparents, you know, raised me. In a sense, or co-raised me with my parents while they went out to work. They babysat me, and I find that so invaluable that, you know, I have no regrets and have no wants to, you know, take my daughter and not obviously have her be co-raised by her grandparents. Anyway, so to answer your question about how hectic can it be compared to an office job. When I showed up in my mortgage job or my banking job, I always showed up, did my job, and that was it. I didn't have to worry about the business end. I just had to show up, you know, manage a couple of accounts, do whatever it is I needed to do, my daily duties, and that was it. I didn't have the stress and the concerns that the board of directors or the CEOs or the vice presidents of the company had. And I didn't really get it until I started running Optic and tried to turn Optic into something more than just a team, more than just, you know, a family, more than just friends, and to actually have different opportunities and try to make a living off of this. And the stress is this: when I went to work at a bank, I had full benefits, I had a steady job, I had absolutely, you know, no worries about one, money coming in, two, health insurance, none of that. Now that I'm doing this all by myself, there's no health insurance for me, so I have to be, you know, I have to get my own insurance elsewhere. I have to worry and try to do my duties by keeping my teammates happy, keeping my sponsors happy, co-sponsors, and you know, potential business partners. I got to keep everybody happy, got to keep Optic in line, got to keep everything going, everything running smoothly, so you know, money can continue to come in and I can continue to do this and hopefully try to build something that's never been built before. Because believe it or not, guys, and only a few will understand what I say this when I say this, but what we do right now has never been done before. There's been an outline of how things should be done or whatever, but aside from that, this business has never ever existed. So there's no right or way. There's no right or wrong ways to do things. You know, it's all trial and error. There's no failures. There's just, you know, experiments, pretty much. So it's stressful, guy. You know, it's you never know where this thing's gonna lead. You never know if what we're building here is gonna go, you know, to be is gonna be something else. If it's gonna be something bigger, to where we can actually build this entire thing to where people like you watching that make videos on YouTube can get to a point where you can be in the same opportunity that everybody else is. And whether it's the White Boys, the XJaws, the Woodies, the, you know, the Optics, the Hutches, the C9ers, the Machinimas, whether it's them alone or all together, we are all building something brand new that eventually, and these are my hopes, that eventually they're going to be into an actual, you know, opportunity for people to work at, you know, for people to be a job. Right here, it's something new, so it's hard. So it's stressful, man, because it's never been done before. Stressful because this is not a guaranteed job. It's not a guaranteed paycheck, and it sure as fuck isn't guaranteed to always be here. You know, it's not like banking, which will be here for the rest of our lives, for the rest of history. Yeah, this is gaming. This is something new. It's either going to fail or not. The developers and the making of video games is always going to be there, but to actually have people that play the video games, people that are the consumer, be, you know, also have the opportunity to make a business out of it, that's never been done before, so it's a little bit stressful. Right here, I'm going to show you guys on the gameplay. I'm not blind. Okay, I know this guy, but I know there's another guy forward, so I waited to see where they were both at, trying to get a two-man kill cam, and sure enough, I did. Anyway, it was too much for me to touch on, so I'll take another gameplay, and I'll answer another question if you guys have, but I'll try to finish up in a minute. Like I said, it was too long of an answer to give it. But anyway, until next time, guys, this has been HECZ. I'm out. Peace. So yeah, sorry guys, I figured I add this to extend on my explanations. So anyway, I know that I didn't have enough time to answer your entire question, Jin Zengumi, but I appreciate it, and I hope I did a good enough job to where you guys have a little bit more insight as to why this is somewhat more stressful than having a guaranteed job. And you know what? I do appreciate you guys asking me the question, so I'm gonna do it again. Leave a question if you would like for me to answer it, and I'll do my best in doing so. Right here, I finished this game of free-for-all in 3-man kill cam. Yeah, so leave a question, guys. Thank you for asking. Until next time, guys, this has been HECZ. I'm out. Peace.